Well, let's see if this thing can run. I need a little tinkering. Alright guys, so today we're working on a 1977 Campion, or no, this one's a Sangster. It's got a Merc 470 in it. A buddy of mine just bought it. And I'm gonna go over doing a little tune-up of everything. So you know everything's good to go. We got it running yesterday, fuel line was plugged up. Cleared that out, fire rate up, ran pretty good. So today, we're starting with leg oil. We're going to drain that. Probably then separate the lower unit, do an impeller on it, and then fuel filters, distributor, points. And yeah, that should be about what we're going to do to tune this thing up. It's already got new leads and everything on it. Here, check this motor out. I mean, someone's already been in it. It's got new leads and whatnot on it. And it fired up and ran yesterday. I mean, yeah. We had a new fuel filter for the fuel pump down there. Probably gonna pull this guy out and the carburetor. I'll plug that one up I already checked the inline one. That one was still flowing. Dual battery setup in this one. Alright, we got that loose. Drum roll. What's it gonna look like underneath there? I'm gonna say it's pretty good. Because of the new wires and everything, there's no way they didn't just replace the cap and rotor. What do you say? Looks like the rotor's good. Cap needs a little bit of clean. A little bit of love in there. Not bad. Right on. Okay. That's a check. Gonna clean those points and connections up. Chip of that looks good. Rotor. And it looks like an electronic ignition to me. So I don't gotta worry about points. I believe that's aftermarket. That's awesome. So distributor checks out okay. Next, let's move to the filter on the side of the carburetor. I already cracked it. Oh, should be a filter in here with a spring. Be ready for that spring, I can hear it. Alright. Let's see what that looks like. This tank's got sand in it like crazy. Look at that. Oh. Yeah. I'd say it's safe to say we gotta clean this tank. Alright, well. And probably clean the carburetor too, my guess. But, you know, maybe it did its job. Maybe it caught it all and it's all in there. What do you think? Is it worth taking the risk before checking heading out on the ocean? Well, it actually looks decently clean in there. See if I can zoom in, get a real good look. Alright, so we might be safe. Might be safe. I already took carb cleaner and everything, and cleaned up the spark arrest. That was all gummed up and plugged up, and there's no way that thing was breathing. Polished the top up a little bit. Alright, well, let's clean that filter out. Alright, we got the filter cleaned out, reinstalled. That's good. One thing I did notice, down inside the carburetor, that's right, that's the gasket hanging out of the inside of the carburetor. So, oh, there's the other bit of it over there. Right in that corner, it's where it tore. Someone didn't install that correctly. So let's get that gasket out of our carburetor, because that's only just gonna go in the motor, right? Let's get that out of there. All right, I fished the gasket out. We're good there now. Now we're gonna come down to this fuel filter on the fuel pump. So we're gonna undo this nut here, flip this out of our way, lift this up, check that fuel filter, see what that looks like. Let's get on that. All right, let's open this guy up. See what we got in here. Oop. Gonna have to retrieve that. Let's see, that fuel filter has seen better days. It looks a little collapsed, like it couldn't breathe. And I would say that is a foobar. That's no good. Good thing I bought another one of those. Oof. Oof. All right. Let's go get that spring. Damn it. It's down there somewhere. Well, first thing you want to do, blow that off. Get rid of all those granules in there. Much better. All right, now we need a new filter that I got. I'm gonna go clean the inside of that out a bit with some sandpaper and reinstall. Well, now we got our custom oil catcher. We can drain our oil. That's nice. Right into where it should be. That's beautiful, right? There we go. Right in there. Be nice and clean. Get out of there. Yeah. I can shop vac that or whatever and keep the bilge clean. So when you're prepping your oil filter, you always pour a little bit right down the center till it fills up, just to pre-wetten the filter, let it absorb something, right? So it's not just going in dry when you hit the key. Okay. splooge a little. I'll get a little extra of that oil. Put it on your seal. This is going to help to ensure you get a good tight seal, no oil leaks. Ooh. That thing was on there strong arm tight. There you go, prepped. Let that soak in a little bit. Put her back in her hole where she belongs. Oil's drained out. Ready for a refill. This thing's half serviced already. Alright, now that we got the leg oil drained, it's actually pretty decent looking oil. It's not milky. Good looking oil. We got that drained. Now I'm gonna separate the lower from the upper and change the impeller. I don't know if you guys know how to do it or not, but there's a bolt at the back. Where are we? There's a bolt right there. Very back of the leg. Back there. One here. One on the exact opposite side. Then you gotta get a big Allen key. Go down the front here to undo the zinc cover. And then under the zinc cover, there's another Allen key up there. And that's how you separate the leg. And get it apart. Alright, this should be ready to come apart. These nuts loose. Well, she's still held together. Oh yeah, I forgot there's two underneath here. Alright, my phone was sitting there and boop, right into the bucket. Well, I got that cleaned up. Like I was trying to say, forgot there's two more right there. So I take those two out. And now it's gonna, as you see, it's starting to come apart already. Alright, let's get this off. I just realized something, guys. These little husky benches, you know, screw in, screw out. These things work great for holding a leg. It's perfect to work on a leg. I like it. Let's get to that impeller. One thing I'm noticing off the bat, the seal's cracked. So, good thing we're in here. At least it's nice and greased. You know, this thing has been serviced recently anyway. Within the last little bit. And they use the proper grease too. There's an O-ring right there we got to replace. Get these guys out. Now that I got it out, you can see some burn marks on the rubber. There it was rubbing. But all in all, it's clean. Little burn there. And a little burn right there. That ain't bad. Impeller is still kind of holding shape, so it's, you know, it's good condition. It's definitely a keeper, reuse in a pinch anyway. Yeah, you can see some rub marks on there. Nothing too horrible. Pretty new, buddy. Pretty new. Let's install. New and in. Let's put it back on. Then simply line up your key as you're pushing your cap back down, and just like that. Put your nuts and bolts back in. Okay, so new impeller, new little gasket there, seal, new seal up here, new pickup tube. Put some fresh grease on there. Let's put it back in. Let's fill it full of oil. Job done, boys. Give everything a little greasing. Give your shifter a grease. Put some grease on your new seals. Make sure your seals have grease. There, now she's serviced up till next time. And use this proper marine grease, gray. Don't use red or green grease, because it's going to absorb the water and it's going to rust the hell out of it. I don't mind doing these either, you know, give them some grease. They're underwater all the time. Grease, greased up that guy, you know. All right, let's go inside. All right, leg is in the process of getting back on. It's not easy to line everything up. Sometimes you got to spin the prop and line up the shaft. But one thing I wanted to mention on these first gens is right there is an oil or the seal for your oil for your leg. You gotta make sure you don't knock that gasket out of there. Gonna zoom in. It's right there. Ooh. Right there. Don't lose that seal or it's gonna suck water in. Make sure you put some grease on that O-ring when you're reinstalling it. All right, tighten it up. And do yourself a favor, guys. When you're putting new leg oil in, get yourself one of these pumps. Trying to hold the bottle on there and squish it in and having it puke everywhere. You don't want to deal with that. Spend the 20-something bucks. Get yourself the pumps. That's where it's at. Pump it till it comes out the top. Except mine's got a family check and too full. Oh, too full. Too much. Hard to tell one person. I better go get some rags. And make sure when you're putting your plug back in for your drain on your leg, change your O-rings. It's a stupid reason to suck water in. Put a new one on every time. Put her together, spill a little oil, screw it, go get another inline filter as well. So that's it, she's fully serviced. The leg oil, impeller, external filter, filter in the fuel pump, filter in the carburetor, your distributor, all your connections. And I know the spark plugs and lead wires are brand new. So that's a full tune-up before you hit the ocean. Okay guys, we're finished with this Merc 470 tune-up here before you hit the water. Things you should do so you don't have a breakdown out there for no reason, especially if you're on the ocean. So, we heard how it ran before I went through it all. Didn't pull the carburetor apart and clean that, but I think it should be okay. Changed all the fuel filters, everything like that. Water's on, so we're gonna fire this thing up, let it warm up, and then I'm gonna go around with my little light and look for any leaks. Because I did see some coolant down in there after I did that first run. Could be a hose loose, I don't know. So we're gonna take a peek. Coolant's topped back up. Let's fire this thing up, see how it runs.